What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Take for Project Open Mic, and we're doing the side chat. I hope y'all doing good. As this is Friday night, so let's get, we're gonna get down with some stuff that we did last night. So last night we did a show. Give me a second. Gotta make sure I'm having a little camera issue. Making sure everything's working here. Alright, camera's working good now, so alright. That's working. Alright, put my face on the screen. How you guys doing? Hope you guys having a good night. This is Friday. Hope y'all getting paid and preparing for a good weekend. So, with that stated, sorry. Like I said, trying to get all the bugs out, certain things, gotta update some stuff again. But other than that, hope you guys are doing well. Like I said before that, I'm easily distracted, so I apologize for that. So, last night we had a very interesting show. It was talking about. We were talking about the Pandora's box and how certain things happen, of course, and we talked about a really serious topic. And because I got so much comments through the Temper FM chat and stuff, and I wanted to give you guys a little piece of say you have to say. That's what the side chat mostly is too. So a crowd interaction as well. So we'll get down to the nitty gritty of that. But I have more stuff to talk about as well to kind of back up to what happened last night. So for anybody out there, go back last night, Project Open Mic episode 51, where we talk about things that happen in Loudoun County and also stuff with CNN and stuff which we'll continue. I want to play some stuff so you guys can see what we're talking about. This how deep this thing goes. And many more. We'll do that. So remember, shout out to people on Tempo FM. Shout out to people out there on YouTube, on Facebook, on Live, and on Twitch TV as well. Make sure I got all the streams up for anybody asking any stuff. Alright. Nope. Make it. Okay, alright. Just to make sure everything is going good. I apologize for that. Again, one-man show, try to run everything itself. It's crazy on its own, of course. So let's get it down to the nitty-gritty of it. So last night, like I stated before, I had now so last night we had a show talking about stuff that happened in Loudoun County, which you go back and check it out. You go to basically the only two places that have this stuff. If you're on Facebook, you might get it on my feed, but you also have it through you see down there, Project Open Mic, YouTube. You go check it out as well there. I don't have much subscribers there or looks there. Again, if you could share the video, like, subscribe, do anything to help us out there on the YouTube, it will be greatly appreciated. But Temper FM have it for a couple weeks before it take down, so you can go and check it out depending on where you at. And Temper FM, you know what it is. And we got, like I said, Twitch has its own thing and Live has its own thing, so we'll see how that will work out. But we talked about stuff in Loudoun County, and also talked about, like I said, the media, how they like straight in front of your face. Like, they don't even hide it no more. It's just literally right in front of you now. So talk about that. So the first thing I want to do is let's talk about. I want to play this with Sanjay, so you get other people's interpretation of what happened with Sanjay Gupta and Joe Rogan, and you see how CNN is, because you would think after what happened, he would be a little different. He would, being that he's a doctor, a medical person, he would be a certain way, but it looked like they don't care. So this is taken from the Tim IRL, and they talk about. And you go to YouTube/Tim IRL and watch the whole podcast. And it's like 2 hours, just kind of like how my podcast is, of course, but he's more popular with his. But yeah. But I just want to hear the group of people I want you to listen to the same thing that we were talking about last night.
Joe Rogan sits down with Sanjay Gupta of CNN and refuses to let Sanjay Gupta change the subject. He says, "Why did your network lie about what the medication I was taking was?" They said it was horse dewormer. And Joe's like, "A doctor prescribed it to me." And Sanjay Gupta's like, You're right. Okay, they shouldn't have said it. That's the power of independent media. And Joe Rogan may be on Spotify or whatever, but that's why they don't like it. That's why they censor it.
And just explain, because again, he's intermediate. I'm the same thing too, but I'm not a journalist. But that's the explanation. And again, I played a clip last night about the exchange between Sanjay Gupta, the head medical doctor at CNN, and Joe Rogan. I played it last night. Again, it's in the Project Open Mic episode 51.
Now, I really want to point something out, though. In this article from CNN.com, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, why Joe Rogan and I sat down and talked for more than 3 hours. There are two very important things that give you insight into the minds of the cult. And boy, when I read you these things, will you realize it's a cult. First and foremost, he says, "I don't think I ever had a conversation that long with anyone. Seriously, think about that. We sat in a windowless podcast booth with 2 sets of headphones and microphones and a few feet between us. Not a single interruption, no cell phones, no distractions, no bathroom breaks." Show of hands, or actually, let's go. Will, have you ever had a conversation with someone that was at least 3 hours? Early in the podcast that I did.
I have. I'm gonna skip that because again, you could go to watch that, but I wanted to get to the point of with Sanjay and Joe Rogan.
Didn't agree with his apparent views on vaccines against COVID. ivermectin and many things in between. Part of me thought the MMA former Taekwondo champion might hurtle himself across the table and throttle my neck, but instead he smiled and off we went.
Yeah, that's a weird bias that you have. Like,
here's a guy. He is the chief medical correspondent for CNN, the most trusted name of news, who has never had a conversation with someone that lasted at least 3 hours and genuinely feared Joe Rogan would physically assault him in a podcast studio over his opinions.
That's pathetic. When he could depose him. I mean, basically, that's what this is.
Or he's lying.
He's
lying.
You know, it's something interesting. Like, there's certain people, and there's only a few areas where, like, it's one thing to have a conversation with someone over a long period of time. It's another to, like, be able to be interrogated, right? And by that, I mean, like, to be asked a continuous sequence of questions to examine what you think and your position on something. That happens in law school, right? If you're the subject of a Socratic questioning from a professor. That'll happen in debate rounds. Like, there's cross-examination that takes a period. Like, there's other things, but there's a lot of people, even if they're very smart and they've gone through very high level, academia or like medical school or something, will have never actually been in a position where they were subject to like a sustained line of questioning about their beliefs. And I think that's Sanjay, if anything, I think that's probably what he's expressing, this, like, I was not ready. This is like the first time I've ever been interrogated. Like, I mean, I don't mean interrogated like with like law enforcement, but just like questioned about a position for this length of a period of time. And it's the sort of, regret kicking in because he got owned, right? Like, he got revealed that he had to get up and he had to concede to sound like a reasonable person that, yes, in fact, CNN had done wrong here. And then CNN is now so furious about it that they're putting him back on the show to like justify, let Donald.
And before they go, and I'll say this to Sanjay Gupta, like, I have respect for him that he went on that podcast because most of the people would not go that. You see, one thing about people from like I said, and I said it again, when I say leftist, I mean extreme leftist. Just like you're right wing, there's extreme leftist, but the extreme leftist has more power in Hollywood, in TV, in music, in academia, in schools. That's why I always talk about they have this. They have the extreme pull in that regard. I give him credit that he went on that podcast, and he had to be, and you see how comfortable he was at the beginning. Like right off the bat, Joe Rogan went after him, just to make sure that he didn't know that, this is not no joke. Like, why did your network lie on me?
I got a request. I would greatly appreciate it, Joe, if you could just take some money, drop it in a retainer for some good law firm, and sue CNN. Hold on. Don Lemon has come out, denied CNN lied about Joe Rogan's COVID treatment after claiming the podcaster took horse dewormer. No joke. They doubled down on the fact that multiple hosts lied. Joe Rogan sat there in front of Sanjay Gupta and said, a doctor prescribed me medication. Sanjay said, yes, they shouldn't have said that. Then when Sanjay Gupta goes on with Don Lemon, he does not correct Don Lemon when Don says, no, listen. It is horse dewormer.
Don Lemon should go on Joe Rogan. Don't be a little whiny,
He never will,
Of course not. He doesn't. He couldn't sustain that. Sanjay Gupta's smarter than
because Don Lemon. Go and watch Don Lemon have the conversation with Morgan Freeman, or I forgot. Was it Ayala? She was I forgot her name. Hassani, who was a lady who of course got raped, but with a Muslim and all that stuff, and she was just talking about how certain things work in a situation. He won't, if he got certain people that way that he feel that he could intimidate, he's not going to attack them. But if he feels that you're a certain way, he's gonna bring you down. That's the way he is. He looks for the softball. He looks for the low hanging fruit. Don Lemon is not an intelligent person.
This is why this was so fascinating. This is why this video went so viral, because this was finally someone, a part of the establishment, being sat down and talked to like a regular human being without any teleprompters, without any scripts, without any agenda. And he stuttered and he messed up and he tried to get away from the subject, and Joe was right on him and he stumbled. Someone wrote a very funny comment under this entire story saying it's a very strange world when an MMA commentator stumps a medical doctor on the topic of medicine. And let's be honest here, Joe Rogan was absolutely right to call out Sanjay Gupta, the chief medical advisor of CNN, why he didn't intervene, step up, or at least correct the record when CNN was blatantly lying about him and spreading dangerous medical disinformation that would have real-life consequences and probably did have real-life consequences. Let's just be honest here about this particular topic. Sanjay Gupta didn't have an answer.
Oh, crap, really? Oh, well, I said, I am that. But he didn't have an answer for real.
It's the topic. He was like, yeah, maybe no.
It's like, I want to talk about this. And Joe goes, no.
Let's get to this issue, because this is
amazing.
an important issue. And then Sanjay admitted that the main reason he went on this show was because he was trying to get Joe to get vaccinated. Now, this is another layer to this that we need to kind of unravel here, because he admitted, I want Joe to get vaccinated. That's why I went on the show. That's his explanation to all of his establishment buddies that are like, what the hell did you do? You let the mask off your face. You showed us the true reality of being stumped by him. And he's saying, no, I just wanted him to get vaccinated. Why? The man just went through COVID. He has natural immunity. There's many scientific studies and preliminary findings that are showing that natural immunity could last a lifetime. Why still on top of that are you telling him to get vaccinated? It makes absolutely no point. And there have been a number of complications and a number of medical professionals saying if you do have strong antibodies and natural immunity, you might have complications from the vaccine. So again, not a medical doctor, not telling people what to do here, but Sanjay Gupta admittedly came into this already trying to push bogus information that wasn't helpful at all. And Joe Rogan just blatantly called him out on all of his bullcrap, and he did not have an answer to it at all.
I think I got a lot of respect for Sanjay for going on there, wanting to go on there, doing it, and just pushing it. He tweeted it out. He wasn't trying to hide from it. And they talked about Sanjay used to be very anti-marijuana, and then started to realize when he started to see the studies, he's a books guy. He's in the books all the time. When he sees the evidence, he changed his position. He realized that kids that were having like tremors and
I remember that a few years ago. This was a long time ago when marijuana was still a taboo thing, where they weren't talking about the benefits of THC and CBD. He went to Amsterdam and interviewed small children, and actually I was surprised by his work at that time. So it's very interesting that you're bringing this up, and you do bring up a good point that at least he did go on.
That's what I said.
At least we saw the mask fall off, slip for a little bit, but he's going to get punished. He's already on an apology tour all over CNN saying, "Yeah, you guys were right. Yeah, you guys were right." When in reality, no, they weren't. They absolutely weren't. Let's be honest here. To again double down and say, "No, this was a medicine for horses." Bull crap.
Remember when that CNN host cannibalized a human on TV?
That's
I'm gonna leave it at that, and you can go watch this show because again, CNN is. But you get my point of why I talk about stuff with CNN. Again, I'm not above using them because again, a broken clock is correct 2 times a day, and they do good work on the article side and stuff. But again, majority of their network is a certain way, and that's why I said what I said. Now, I want to bring up to you as well, to continue in what we were saying. Remember I told you they use the stuff for the fathers. They use that situation so he can do. Excuse me. That he can use as propaganda for a lot of things. And it's very sad. I'm a little outraged on that because the guy, like I said, the father, he was legitimately angry, and he had a right to be angry as his daughter got assaulted in Loudoun County School, and then the supervisor, the school board didn't do nothing. They did not suspended the young man. They transferred him to a new school when he did it again. That young man is messed up. That young man is not. He needs help, but I'm sorry. That's a person that needs to be cared for mentally all the way, because for not to do that once and then go and do it a second time and do a crime like this is just, it's crazy. It's literally crazy to me. But they push this situation. You gotta be careful. And I'm gonna show what I'm saying. They are getting into all the schools. I ain't gonna say school. They getting more than in their school. They get in this, like I said, they're in the schools. They're in the churches now, which is crazy. The government is reaching down in the churches, the school, all the stuff which you said that you never have been there. Hollywood, music, like I said out before, all those things, they're in it, and they change stuff. And if you dare go against speaking certain things, they're gonna go after you. So I wanna play this for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me a second here.
Psychologist John Money is. He's the guy who coined the terms gender identity and sexual orientation. So, of course, he's hailed as a hero by the social justice warriors and the cultural Marxists. And, of course, as you may expect, he also endorsed pedophilia. John Money, look him up, the founding father of the gender identity movement, who literally coined the term. And then look up Henry Hay, a communist and early LGBT rights hero who endorsed NAMBLA. And since their ideas took root in the culture, now we have things like Good Morning America.
And I'll pause it there for a second. As you could, and this is Good Morning America, and I have a situation. I was talking to my girlfriend about this with Michael Strahan. This is at 8. This young boy is this is a problem. And people are clapping and smart like, I can't do this. I would never be around this nonsense. This is hypocrisy at itself. All right? It's not good. That's a boy, 11-year-old boy. And they showed it. This is Desmond Amazing, who was at a strip club in New York. That's supposed to be 21 years and over. 21 years and over. He was at a strip club. And men was put in a gay strip club, homosexual strip club, and they were putting money in his clothes. And this is Good Morning America, at 8 o'clock in the morning, pushing this nonsense. You see it right there on the screen. I'm not making it up. It's a problem.
Promoting child drag queens and boys in dresses being promoted in television commercials like this new one for John Lewis Insurance. I probably have to mute the music or there'll be a copyright issue with YouTube, but as you can see, it's just more of the liberal agenda on full display. Remember a few years ago when they tried to cancel that race car driver, Lewis Hamilton, for saying that boys don't wear princess dresses? And then he apologized, apologizing for saying that princesses are girls. Then, of course, the liberal media celebrated when actress Megan Fox dressed her son up as the princess from Frozen, Elsa. They also celebrated actor Liv Schreiber dressing his son up as Harley Quinn from one of those comic book movies, who, if you're not familiar with the character, she is played by Margot Robbie.
And then let's go in. Just point out. Okay, let's go to another spot here
that caters to them have literally been complaining about Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special for 7 days, a full week now, because Netflix hasn't banned it due to their complaining. There are even dozens of misleading headlines about a transgender Netflix employee who was suspended for speaking out against Dave Chappelle's mean jokes.
Yeah, that was a lie.
But the reality is this carbon-based life form, whatever their preferred pronouns are, barged into a senior executives meeting in order to complain about it. That's why they were suspended. If you start protesting your own employer, particularly by disrupting senior level meetings, you should probably get fired. But because of their transgender privilege, they were reinstated the very next day. And I'm sure by tomorrow they'll set up a GoFundMe page to try to raise some money for all the pain and suffering that they have to go through because of Dave Chappelle's jokes. The cultural Marxists will never be satisfied, and I'm sure you heard by now that they're making Superman bisexual, and I won't show you the picture of him making out with his boyfriend.
Basically, to be honest, it was Superman's son in the comic, and they want to know why comics are dying. This is why the comics are dying. I don't know how you not see that the food that you're cooking is basically garbage and nobody wants to buy it, but you still want to force it down them. Okay.
Which has already been shoved into everybody's face by every media outlet in America a half a dozen times on everybody's social media feed every time you scroll through and see the story. All they wanted was the right to be married, they said, but now all the superheroes have to be LGBTQAI+. In the Batwoman series on the CW, they made Batwoman a lesbian, and then in season 2, made her black for extra diversity. Dean Cain, who played Superman in the 1990s series Lois and Clark, said that it wasn't brave or bold, it was just bandwagoning, being extremely mild in his criticism, because if you actually say what it really is, you'll get canceled. Of course, he trended on Twitter yesterday from so many people attacking him because, as Adam Carolla predicted in his 2010 book, In 50 Years We'll Be Chicks, in the future, he predicted people will be bullied for not being gay. And now they want James Bond to be gay, or preferably transgender, since Daniel Craig, the actor who's played James Bond for the last, I don't know, maybe 15 years or so, will no longer be reprising that role since he's getting a little old and they're retiring him as Bond. So one leftist online magazine has come up with a list of 9 LGBTQAI+ people that they want to see play James Bond. And on the top of their list is Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page, some no-name actress who I can only think of one movie, Inception, that she has been in. And the Babylon Bee has predicted the future again. Back in February, they published this then parody story titled California Bill Prohibits Stores from Selling Toys That Don't Actively Confuse Children's Sexuality. And now Governor Gavin Newsom, surviving his recall, has issued a new decree mandating that all major retailers in California who sell toys include a gender-neutral toy aisle. Soon, I'm sure they'll ban boys and girls' clothing sections because, as you know, in the New World Order, they want boys to wear dresses. Because they're certainly not going to shut me up. And speaking of censorship, Facebook is...
Before he goes into the Facebook stuff like that, I'm just touching on it a little bit, how you just say that I don't get it. Like, and I remember, these people use their children for father, which is damaging the children. I don't like that, but it's their kids. They do what they want to do. They have them. They raise them. That's what it is. But to do that stuff to their kids, hey, that's crazy enough. But sometimes a lot of I'll give you an example. Like what is it? The governor of I forget hypocrisy, but they don't care. The governor of Virginia, who's trying to run for Virginia, not Ralph Northam, he's the governor now, but somebody else, I forgot the name of the governor, the candidate. And he was like, we don't want no school choice, we don't want private school, whatever. We want to make sure that this is a Donald Trump thing. We're going to make sure that we're going to put all the money towards public schools. Yeah, his kids does not go to none of the public schools. His kids go to private school. Just like with Elizabeth Warren, when she's like, oh, my kids went to public schools for 1 semester and went right back to private schools. That's why y'all even play the charade? Why you even play the games? It's not needed. You don't need to play the games. But that's what they do. Now, remember when I talked to you yesterday about the whole thing with Facebook and how they try to do the whole, if that guy who had that thing to unfollow and they took it away. And again, fair terms. Facebook had a term. We kind of signed it, even though we don't read the whole thing. So by that, he was breaking their terms of service. I understand it, but they know they want to keep censoring more and more and more, and that's where I'm going to continue out now with what Mark is going to show you.
Fact checking this. I don't think you would call this a meme. It's basically just some text with a fan.
And this is how crazy they're going with this stuff. Like I said, with the media and with social media as well, to the regular, the mainstream media news and media.
Background, whatever you would call this, which reads, in case you forgot, 2 years ago today, we were experiencing the greatest economy in the history of the world. And I'm not kidding you. Facebook literally has declared that is false. They've issued a fact check on it. So it's not just supposed medical misinformation or posts undermining our election integrity that they're fact-checking and censoring. They're literally suppressing and fact-checking with bogus fact checks innocuous statements about the economy. And in case you missed it, they're also fact-checking memes about the price of gas being high under the Biden administration. They're fact-checking memes about gas prices. There's also a supposed second Facebook whistleblower who is jealous that she wasn't featured on 60 Minutes and didn't have a red carpet rolled out for her to testify in front of Congress to demand that they suppress and censor more free speech. It appears that she was fired from Facebook last year for complaining that they weren't censoring enough free speech, and you know how much Facebook loves to do that, so you can imagine how annoying she was. But since that other Democrat operative, who the media calls a whistleblower, has created a lot of negative attention for Facebook by pointing out the obvious that children shouldn't be using social media, Facebook finally got around to banning Bryce Gage Watkins. He's that dirtbag who was molesting babies and sending video of it to others through Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, this guy is, that guy was a creep. An out and out creep and just ridiculous. But, you know, we got to be picky with what we're doing with how our situation is. I don't want to be all that. I also want to bring this up as well too. So last night I did a numbers thing. Okay, my opinion, not anybody else. If you don't catch the joke, I'm a white man in blackface. And funny enough, Tiffany Cross for MSNBC would say the exact same thing. And you know, lady, it's crazy that you will call pot calling kettle metal, but whatever. Cause she got a video where she's like, these black people they are black faces, but they're not black voices, and then I'm like, wow, that's kind of a little racist than what it is. But okay, so we have Kamala Harris. You guys heard my thing with Kamala Harris, and she was one of the main reasons why I did not vote for Joe Biden. Not gonna lie, other than Joe Biden being who he is, and I was not a fan of that, but I was not a fan of that Kamala Harris because of what happened to my friend and what she was basically involved in what happened to one of my friends when they lost their family member. I played a video, and I might do a short clip video of it in the future, but I played it when she put a man in jail for no reason, and that a guy who should have been deported and arrested, and he is now, but he should have done that after he had 3 felonies, killed my friend's children and her husband. I was not a fan. This is the main reason why I didn't vote for her, for them. So I'm just saying that. But I've told you about it already again. She is not a good leader. The reason I say that because she always laughs when she lies, and she need to get under control. But I gotta laugh at this. So let's look at the video about NASA going to the space, whatever. Let's watch this train wreck.
Nice to meet you, Zoriel.
Nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you, Emily. Welcome.
Thank you
So
so much.
this is the residence of the vice president. So let's all stand up. Here we are.
Oh,
Oh, so cringy.
Hanging out together.
I just love the idea of exploring the unknown.
And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet.
To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that. And so I'm very excited about the Space Council. We're going to learn so much as we increasingly, I think, are curious and interested in the potential for the discoveries and the work we can do in space. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about. But the other, you guys are going to see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
oh my goodness.
With your own eyes.
I gotta pause for a second because I think a little technical problem here, which is my fault. Because you're not seeing. There you go. You're not seeing the video, which I apologize. To add to the cringes, you were hearing the voices, but you were not seeing it. So let's see it.
Eyes, I'm telling you, it is gonna be unbelievable.
Hey guys, check this out.
I swear sometimes. Just to be respectful for the people, the videos, which I am.
Gives us a sense of the magnitude of it all. Earth is kind of small.
Yeah.
Right? The Earth is like a speck. Compared to the sun. What we have designed, I mean, look at the design of this thing. And the people and the smart people and the scientists and the engineers who came up with the idea that if you build something that looks like that, you can see the sun.
Yeah.
And you can see the moon, right? Well, wait till you guys see the moon. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about those craters on the moon. Always
That laugh.
dream with ambition.
And again, I understand the story and I understand how, to have this. This is all cool and to do this. Nothing wrong with that. To inspire young kids to want to be scientists and all that stuff. But here's where I have a little problem with some of this stuff, which is Kamala. I'm just seriously, and your handlers and everybody. There are 330 million people in America. A lot of them is kids. You're telling me in California, the state that you're in, which is 80 million people and whatever, you couldn't find actual kids who love science, whatever. Those kids you see in the video, these are child actors. They're acting. They're not even like inspired or nothing. They did this and did multiple takes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Even though I am wholly not a fan of President Bush, but even before the September 11th thing, whatever, and he had the kids, whatever, at least it was real kids. That's what we are now? Really? You have child actors to pretend this stuff? You couldn't find real kids who really want to go to NASA, who want to go to space and everything? Wow. That's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. So, I just wanted to say some, show some of the stuff right there, and then I want to bring, again, just give the people out there a couple of the video the response to last night's videos. So it is crazy, and I can see you guys are coming in already with some of the comments. y'all not thinking this right now. So we have about Tempo FM and the usual stuff. We have 8,750 people watching right now. Again, thank watching you Tempo FM, of course, and a couple of the other stuff. Thank you guys for accommodating. So let me go through the chat and let me see. And let's go with this. Well, before, let me make sure of one more thing. Give me a second. Again, one man show. Because of.
How do I do it?
There you go. That'll be much better. Okay. All right. Make it big enough so I can read. So I'll put this thing so small. All right. So we have Angela Watson from DC. Whoa, there you go. Thank you. You get me. I'm not just lately. We were getting a lot of watching True Temple FM, a European channel, European station stuff over to here, which is it's crazy. But hey, thank you. We need to stop sending our kids to public schools until they actually give us the freedom to freely choose. I can't argue against that at all. Let me see something here. I want to see if this is the true.
Most about cat.
Yep, I was correct. It is that person. Oh man, I gotta say that. So James Waller from New York. I see your. I just clicked on it and it's like, yeah, he's a big YouTuber. Thank you. And wow. I guess Grip. And he knows he's a YouTuber, so he understands that. Wow. I guess gripping somebody is okay to the left as long as the Decepticon person does it. Like, it is crazy. Jeanette Powell from UK. Well done, Tig, in making the whole world aware of this terrible, unjust story. As a mother of a beautiful daughter, I would have not shown as much resilience as the father did in this case. I am truly sorry that his daughter went through that, and her father was treated this way. It's disheartening to hear that this is where our school system has gone. I hope that one day common sense will prevail. Thank you for doing this story. Well, Jeanette, I have no problem doing this story for you, my dear. It's crazy because again, you got to watch the stories now because again, they use the father to do the other part with the FBI nonsense. But then, be honest, he was legitimately angry, and I'm with him. I am definitely with him. Let me see here. We have also Tobias Winsky. That's from Germany. Yeah, from Germany. The entire school board must be removed. The principal and the others involved in the incident must be removed. The police who took Smith down and arrested him at the school board meeting must be removed. The matter should not be simply be a left one or fingers wet or just fingers. Okay, sorry. The matter should not be just left alone and fingers wagging. It is past time that these people taught lessons and held accountable for their tyrannical and insanity. Period. I agree with you with that. Esther Moridia from Portugal. Sorry. I hope I pronounced it right. So not only do they want to violate the minds of children, but their bodies as well, and show parents that object and every question is labeled as a domestic terrorist. This is public school system in your country. This is sad. That's correct. You're correct about that, ma'am. You're correct about it. Cat Williams, not the act, basically from the UK, not the comedian. The impact of this is terrible thing that happened. This guy and his daughter is immense. Is immensely hard to believe. Either of them do not deserve this. I am so pissed off. Actually, I'm sick to my stomach. I am happy that you are showing what's going on in the media today. Well, I have no problem to do it. Josh Freeman, also from Germany. I don't tend to agree with a lot of people from the conservative side on a lot of things, but I'm glad that people like you are showing. Well, I'm not conservative per se, sir. I am literally a libertarian. I let people be what they be to a degree. Like I said, if you're a grown adult and you want to be a trans woman, a trans man, go right ahead. Unless you're going into sports, that's unfair. But other than that, go ahead, be that, do that. I have nothing against that. You want to be in a relationship with a woman or a man, and you want to be homosexual. I don't care about that. That's not my right to say that. Right? I'm just when it comes to my family, I'm conservative. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm liberal. I'm left. I'm liberal. I don't care. But just to finish up what you were saying, to where's the remedies for the horrible treatment of this? Oh, sorry. This horrific treatment of this man and his daughter, and just hope that they can get justice. And sadly, to find out that this guy, play the stinger. You got it.
You piece of loser.
Went to another school and then to another woman, another little girl. Sorry, another little girl. Is beyond belief that this school board should still be intact. You are correct, and that's the problem too. This person did not just assaulted this man's daughter. He did not only to one, he did it to another person within 5 months. Unfair, that's crazy. He did it in May, and he went back and did it in October. No, this person should be in jail or in a mental ward. I'm just saying that. I know he's a minor, but we see that he does not play nicely outside the supervision. Okay. Kat Kerr, from New York. I can't imagine how difficult it is for the father to hold back his rage. It is so sad to see adults hurting children. Yes, it is. Joy Floron from DC. Oh, okay. Another DCian. Thank you. In my state, an allegation of sexual assault of a minor has to be reported immediately to the Children's Services and the police by the school employee because of the mandatory info laws. Failure to do so is neglect. If they didn't immediately report this to the, if they didn't report this case to the officers and they were hiding it, this is just malice, and they are guilty of neglect and should have put the children to this abuse. They should all lose their jobs. Yes, all lose their jobs. No pension, no benefits, nothing. Kick you all the hell out. This is horrible what happened. Clay Rillis from UK. The cops that arrested him should lose their jobs because they failed terribly in doing what they should hired to do. I get it, but we can't say it in that regard how it was. But like I said, I wish I could have showed a video. By the way, He was resisting arrest, but it was not. That's not how the thing was stated. Like I told you, it's your hand. It's like he didn't know there were cops behind him. So when they put their hand on him, he did shrug off the shoulder and stuff because he didn't know who he was. He thought it was a parent, whatever. And then they took it as being, you know, aggressive with the cops. So of course, when he got wrestled down by the other cops, then yes, that's what happened. So I get that. You're correct. You're correct on that. Johnny Granville, my heart goes out to Mr. Smith and his baby girl and the other girl as well. This is a tragedy that should have been prevented, but because people use backdoor entrances and changing the way words are used, like you've pointed out many times, they're using this to get the evil done. I don't care if it was a boy or I'm gonna use Decepticon, or it was a green alien or a fish. You should a little girl should not have gone through this, and the school system failed them. Basically, now, I know you said no, failed them. Wong A. Alado, that's what I'm thinking it is, from Mexico. Hey, we cannot continue to send our children to Caesar for their education and be surprised when they come home as Romans. Wally T. Busherman Jr. quote. Well, okay. Amanda Martinez. Oh, wow. I mean, we get a lot of, we're going all over the place. Thank you. Why are the members of the school board, along with the school administration, not being held accountable? The police should have been there when the father was originally called to come to talk about the incident. WTF.
What the fuck?
I would play that for you because you're correct. And it was there. And that's why I like when I look at the story last night, it was like saying about, oh, well, we learned about this just as like the community learned about this. No, you did not. You called the cops. The cops came there, and wow, the disrespect you guys have for this man and his daughter is just ridiculous. And again, I showed a video of these women holding up these signs. This is a girl that got sodomized, and women are there saying, "Oh, well, we're with the board because," like I've said this multiple times. White leftist women are the most racist racist people I've ever seen in my life. They're crazy, and I can't believe they were saying this, being that they're women. And you would think that you would empathize because it's a young girl, but they didn't. They did not. Can't believe they go to the extreme. Y'all crazy. Y'all are nuts. Ridiculous. Dublin 007 from Scotland. Man, good. Students can expect privacy if they commit a felony, but not when they use the restroom. I hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying. I got that situation in that regard too. That sucks. Tracy Gale from Florida. Okay, I mean basically Miami. I'm just saying this state because it's more different. But yeah, Miami, Florida. In America, everyone has the right to pretend to be whatever they want. No one has the right to force everyone else to go along with their fantasy and their delusions. Yes. Yes, you're right. Odin Shepherd from Germany. Kamala was speaking to those teenage actors like they were 3 years old. I said it was cringy. I did say it was cringy. I did say it was cringy now, so what do you expect? Dave Blackman from UK. Kamala Harris. There are things we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. All of us. Yes, like the southern border. Good one. That's true. That is true. So we have Johnny Brandon. Oh, okay. Johnny Brandon from New York. You talk to kids normal so they don't think that they're dumb or beneath you. But this was just cringeworthy, and she just talked to them like they were babies. Again, I get it. That's just how it's cringeworthy. That was just what it was. Joey Gongato, oh, from New York. Hey, how you doing? I thought Mike Pence was unlikable as a VP until I saw Kamala Harris. Dang. Wow. Dang. Allison Smith from Arizona. Jeez, well, thank you. So this is what she's doing instead of fixing the border crisis. Well, yeah. What I'm always surprised to be supposed to be that. Nope. Brissa. Okay, this is a Spanish name. It's from Portugal, but I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Britasina. Britasha. Britta. Yeah, Britasha. It just has the accent, and sometimes I know you guys are very fond of the accent stuff, and I don't want to over the end and stuff, but I'll go with Britasha. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. Britasha Mancinez. Every time I see a politician I don't like, it's remind me. I'm reminded by the reality. Taxes theft. Basically. You're correct about you're correct about that. Mary Anthony. She's legitimately one of the oddest people I've ever seen. Oh, Mary Anthony from New York. She's one of the oddest people I have ever seen laughing at the wrong time. Perfectly put. That you called it out. Every time I see her talk and she laughs, is the most cringiest thing, and also followed by that she does that when she's uncomfortable or when she's lying. You're one of the few people who call that out very well. I'm like, well, it's obvious, but yes, I don't, that laugh that she does, that ga 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 after when she just, you know, she's lying, or she can't, when the pressure's on her. I've shown many videos of that. You're right. Right, Privs from from UK. This is so terribly cringy. But remember, friends, this is your next president once they decide to put Joe Biden in the old home and rush him. Okay, I can't read that. I'm not gonna read that. That's okay. Look, I might not be a fan of Joe Biden, but I can't read that. Sorry. This is one of the reasons I don't put the chat on there, because this is just, that's bad. I won't do that. Sorry, right? You can't do that. Luke Duke. The kids did an excellent job of acting like they were repulsed by Kamala Harris. Luke Duke from Florida, from Tallahassee, Florida. Wow. Okay. All right, guys, come on now. Mary Moray from Virginia. Oh, okay. Basically from Charleston, not Charleston, Charlottesville, Virginia. Sorry, I'm getting the thing. I'm gonna see. She's acting like she's acting like a first lady. Not that she's qualified for that by the. Okay, hold on, let me make sure I'm saying it right because I don't wanna. Sometimes I read. Sometimes you see what I'm messing up. It's like I'm reading further ahead, like the last person, because I like the not the last person, the guy like right, because I don't want to say certain stuff that or put a comment out there because we're not gonna threaten people. We're not gonna put violence on people. Just no, just not. That's not our thing, and that's why I don't put a chat up there because, I know certain channels like to see the views and then they're like, oh, you're responsible for your comment section and all that stuff, and I'm like, I ain't going through all that nonsense. Okay, so let's go. She is acting because she has the quotes around it like a first lady. Not that she is qualified for that by any measures of decency. Not as a supported VP. Can you see any other form of VP doing this? This makes women, and this is a woman saying this. This makes women look incompetent. No wonder she got her job in California as she did. This is why I had to read further. That's why I messed up. That's why you see me try to catch up. He got his bang for the buck. I'm facing it a little differently. He got his bang for the buck. I am not usually so vehement or direct. She offends me on so many levels. And it's funny how you stated that she's the politician that went horizontal to go vertical. Yes, and the reason I had to go with he got her bang for her buck is it's a little more stuff, and I just didn't want to do it. And you got it, Mary, and yes. Kamala Harris barely got it. No. Joseph Jones from Joseph Jones from Mississippi. Yeah, she's just an ignorant party girl who was given a job as a result of guilt-ridden the men who used her. Again, I'm being nice with the words because that's not what he's saying. But other than that, let's go, Brandon. And for anybody who watched the show, go back to the show last night. Let's go, Brandon. And that's becoming a meme now. And if you want to say, and this is, I'll pass on to this. The reason why Let's Go, Brandon, that's why I laugh, is there's a clip which I played on the show last night of this guy Brandon who won the a race, NASCAR race, and there were people in the stands, and he won. He was like, I want to thank God, blah blah, their usual speech, whatever. But the people were shouting out, F Joe Biden. I'm being nice, F Joe Biden. So they were doing that, but and the reporter was like, the fans are so happy that you won, Brandon. Look at it, it's chanting, let's go, Brandon. And I like it was audible. You know that's not what they were saying. So that's what people, if you ever hear people say, let's go, Brandon, that's what they're saying. Holy smoke. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Vanda Blackburn. Rhonda Blackburn from, again, hey, that's cool. Again, Washington, D.C. We get a couple of people in there. Thank y'all. She was definitely talking to them like kindergarten children. Yes. And these are grown teenagers and stuff. That is true. That is crazy. Brian Wass from Germany. People need to canvass the school district with the story and let the parents know exactly what kind of principal runs their school so they can pull their kids out ASAP. F these guys who we F guys, because this is the actual word. F comma guys, we need to help this man. I can't even imagine how enraged and furious this poor father is. We need to help him. Yeah, I get it. And Jason Swells, this is why I homeschool my kids. And I've seen a lot of people saying about the homeschool stuff. Excuse me. Just like Casey, uh, Kelsey, I got that part right. But these names from Poland, Abadlrazaq. Abdalazak. I apologize for butchering your name, Kelsey. I get the first name, so I apologize for that. This makes me want to homeschool my son. I am tired of the attack on the youth and and also not involving the parents. This is utterly heartbreaking. Okay, maybe that's kind of what you in Poland, but I don't think it would be the same thing. Let me see. Emerald Peel from New York. The adults who knew and covered it should basically they're literally just guilty as this young monster who sodomized this girl. Let's just put it there and sodomized these two girls. Get involved in your community. That is correct. Remember what I was saying. Take care of yourself, then take care of your family, then take care of your neighbors, and that's still the best way to do things. That's just the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it because it's just, yeah. That's the only way because these people don't care. Manson Johnny from New York. As a father of two daughters, both younger than 2, this made my blood boil. I would have reacted very similar to the father. It's not beyond reason to think any father would do the same, if not more, in this person's position. Happy that you did a great job of pointing out how the system is trying to use this to make parents who want to be active in their lives, including fathers, to take care of their children. And I'm also happy to subscribe to your channel because you point out a lot of the things that young men are going through and they need to learn about stuff. So yes, you're welcome. Robert Henry from Germany. This is despicable. Like everyone forgets about the thing that happened with Penn State. Speak up and hold these predators accountable along with those people who swept under the rug. That is also true. Julia Williams from DC again. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Living in Loudoun County my whole life. Obviously, I went to school here. Luckily, not all of it was bad, but there was definitely some teachers that do not deserve their license. Or some that will try to push their narrative on these young kids to show them that their beliefs are incorrect. I am very glad I graduated before all this nonsense started. One thing that was never talked about was a teacher who accidentally put a picture of their penis onto the board for everyone to see. And they did not get fired for it and still teaching oddly to this day. I feel a few weeks ago they showed their class a video about things that these young women and young men should not be talking about in their schools. It's getting really bad that some of these schools now are pushing this agenda. And I'm happy that you did call out that they're using the father who was very irate very irate sorry, I mean that part wrong. That's me. And was correct in correct in his anger, uses as propaganda to say that parents are not taking care of their kids. Thank you for doing your show, Tig. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I got about this. It is great. Justin K. I watch your show because you pulled out a lot of stuff that a lot of people do not see. I share the videos as best as I can, but sometimes my family members or friends don't like what you say because it's weird hearing a black person say about things about white people in that regard. But I am happy that you do stand up for fathers, that you do stand up for the sons, and that you do call out this nonsense that this young man did to these two innocent girls. Thank you for being the light in some of this nonsense in the world. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Because I did a video about that. Go to I did think Project Over My 49 why I do the show and stuff. And then sometimes I got a little male centric, but I still, if a woman, again, I'm not standing up for any man who do horrible things at all. It's like this young man. I am not standing to them. Again, you go and you do this to a girl or a man or a woman or whatever. If I don't care what it is, you should be out in the jail cell, in my opinion. But because it's a minor, I'm gonna leave it be what it is. All right. So let's go with that. I think and again, thank you guys up there. Because say, oh, we got up to, wow, that's good. We up to 12,992. So we went up a little bit, which is good. I thank you guys for that. So again, just I'm saying this for sakes, be in your children's life in schools. Please do. Please be due diligent. I know sometimes it's hard. My mom was a single mother, but you know what? And she had a car, but she did catch the bus and be at every parent-teacher meeting in my life when I was growing up. And I know that was something that was important to her. She made sure that I did not have to worry about, I didn't have to worry about anything else. Going to school to get the knowledge so I could better my life. That's what she was pointing out, and she was making sure that I get that teaching. But also to make sure, because again, I have a story where I was in high school and I got suspended. I got suspended in high school for something that I did not did. And trust me, how strict my mom was, as strict as my mom was, and I've gotten whoopings for crazier stuff, you know. But as strict as my mom was, she saw what a teacher was, and she was like, okay, yeah, that man is weird, and I could see why why he's lying on you. And she was saying that about the teacher. So even though I got suspended, she knows that I didn't do that I didn't do it. She believed me, and also believed that it's basically what the teacher said that I did was out of my character, like super out of my character. So and also my mom knows one of my friends was a witness in the same class, and he was like, he didn't do that. But digress. If you're gonna go to public, not everybody has the money. Not everybody has the time. I get that, but try your very, very hardest to be in your child's life in school if you're in America. I don't know about the other countries. Since most of you guys are in Germany and London and whatever. I don't get it. I know London has a couple of ways as well too, but be in there. Because we know that the parents of this young man do what he did. Whatever, they were feeding this young man some crazy stuff, and for him to go back and do that to another girl is despicable in my opinion. Okay, let's call it what it is. Okay, let's call it out what it is. You should not have the power to go do that to one girl, nevertheless two girls. He should have been in jail. I'm not gonna be negative thing, but he should have been in jail and should have been expelled from school. This is crazy. I'm be telling the truth. If this was a white male boy who did this as he is, they would have called out and said, "Oh, how horrible men are, and how this is, and all that stuff, and blah blah blah." But because it's a Decepticon, they let it slide, and that's despicable. And that's why when I showed the video last night, when it's freeze framed and you see the women like backing up the school board and backing up this young man, I'm like, but he raped a young girl. He sodomized a girl. That is horrible. The world is what it is. And like I said, evil And there's a point taken right there. That's why I always say evil is evil. Comes in all shape, size, color, sex, gender, height, nationality, location, and as we're gonna say, age. Evil is evil. Okay? This is just bad. And I don't like that they use, like I said, I hate that the government used the father who was passionate and he was legitimately angry as a piece to say, oh, the school board should look out for this and the FBI should look out for this. No, I don't like that. That's one of the reasons I don't like that at all. With that said, guys, okay, remember, people are stupid, individuals are smart. Be that smart individual. Have a nice weekend. Hope you guys are good. Check out Project Open Mic. Next week there might not be a Project Open Mic because I'll be out of I'll not be at my local situation, but I will be putting up videos on the channel for YouTube and a little touch channel to Facebook and also Tempo FM. So check it out. Till next week. Just get a heads up on that. Thank you for your time, your ears. Again, remember, people are stupid, individuals are smart. Be that smart individual. Okay, y'all have a good night. Peace out, and remember. Take care of yourself, then your family, then your next door neighbor and everything. That's what it's all about. Good night.